people's money and how they choose to spend said money. It's something that's always on display in every hobby, and the Pokemon TCG is absolutely no exception. Just looking around Instagram, looking around YouTube, you can see vividly what people have chosen to spend their money on. Hey, you, I can tell what you like. I know what you like when you just walked in here. You're one of them Charizard fanboys, ain't you? One of them Scalies. I see the way you look at that tail. That's fine. Poke positive after all. You were welcome here. But it's one of those things that you can see and just see the diversity that actually flows in our hobby right here. Some people flow more towards plushies. Some people flow more towards art. Some people flow more towards merchandise. Some people like to actually collect figures. And then the TCG itself, right? You can break that down even further. Some people like collecting trainers. Some people like collecting rainbows. Some people like collecting gold. Some people like collecting the special arts. I mean, it breaks down so much. There's even people that like collecting specific Pokemon. Hey, you like Krabby? There's a person that has every single Krabby card that's ever been purchased. Oh, you don't think that's specific enough? You don't think that's crazy? What about Tinkatink? There's someone who started a Tinkatink collection, I guarantee, and they're collecting every single Tinkatink card that has ever showed up, because that's just how this hobby works. When people have a favorite Pokemon, they're going to collect every single card that exists of that. And it's beautiful to see. I would say, though, there's a section of people in our hobby that pick up cards only for the sake of watching them flip or prospecting an increase in price that is going to happen. It's an investment per se. It's going to be one of those things, investment. That's a big word that gets thrown around here a lot. I'd say there's nothing wrong with that. It is interesting watching what people pick up and the reasonings that they pick up certain things, though. Got an interesting one for you here today, and of course it is from r/PokeInvesting. Let's pull up a chair, let's grab a snack, and let's enjoy and watch what people do with their free time and their money. Penny stock investment. So right here you can see a picture immediately. There is 60 pennies sitting right here. This is the SIR, excuse me, it's SIR. Yep, I'm thinking English. This is the SIR from Paldean Fates. This is Penny right here. It's a beautiful card, features Umbreon front and center. It's a little bit hard to see, but Umbreon is currently there, and a lot of people have taken interest in this card. Some people have taken interest in this card a little bit more than others, as you can very clearly see. Let's read what they have to say. You're probably looking at this image thinking, I'm a clown. I am, but let me explain. Well, self-awareness is cool, but hey, you're not a clown just for picking up a bunch of a card. Maybe you truly believe in this card, or maybe you're an avid collector of Penny. It has Umbreon taking up a third of the card, so it has to catch Umbreon tax eventually. This is not always true with cards, and this is something people have to learn on their own when they step into this hobby, man. Like, just because a card features a specific Pokemon or character does not mean it by default is going to get some kind of price raise because of that. Our community is very difficult to track how cards are going to go. It is so easy for a third party to step in and artificially raise or inflate a price or decrease a price just because the interest isn't there, even though people think a card should be more. There are so many cards people think are undervalued that should be more, but the community is just not biting. It might happen later, it might happen eventually, and this is a case of that right here, where people are looking at it, they're like, well, it's got Umbreon on it. Yeah, well, it's Penny. Penny is kind of popular, but she is not a Lily and she is not a Marnie, which people have tried to do this exact same thing with both of those characters as well. Morty's Conviction and Kyrian are similar cards, yet worth more. I can tell you 100% why Morty's Conviction is in that fucking bubble. Morty's Conviction came out in a set where people did not even like most of the Pokemon that were in it at the time it came out. I think that opinion's going to change, but it was a bunch of Paradox Pokemon that came out with it, and literally for the Gen 1ers, the people that were stuck there, like the boomers walking around the scary world of Temporal Forces, all they could see was Gengar sitting on a Morty's card. They're like, I kind of know that one. That's the one I want. It came out in that. That's why people flock immediately to that card. The Kyrian, it's a pretty cool card. I would say Carmine would have been a better example, but hey, you do you. Paldean Fates as a whole is being slept on. Its release date was during unfavorable market conditions, and it couldn't live up to its predecessor 151. But it's an amazing set with lots of chase cards. Once it catches its flame, will take off. So I have no idea how 151 is the predecessor to Paldean Fates. If anything, Paldean Fates' predecessor would probably be Shining Fates and Hidden Fates. I know, it's in the name, right? You think it's a nerf. It's nerf for nothing. You'd think that would be enough for people to literally be like, that's the case right there. That's what it's trying to mimic. But no, apparently it's trying to 151ify itself. I don't know, but I don't think that's a good take, but Poke positive, you do you, man. Paldean Fates is a holiday set, so no booster box, which means more money per pack. higher cost to pull the Sirs, yes indeed, but that does not necessarily mean people are interested in every card that comes out of their set. You got to remember, there's a lot of other cards in that set, and I'd be willing to bet, like, even in the trainer department, I bet the Clive it's giving Penny probably a run for its money, as well as the Mew, the Gardevoir, and the Charizard. I guarantee those are really what people are looking at. With all that listed out, am I missing something? I've already started specking out my Lambo. I'm thinking black and yellow to suit the theme. So this is something where people are like, oh, this is obviously jokes. It's just kids and stuff like that. They're just kidding around. No, I mean, for sure, obviously that's a pretty sarcastic comment. It's got a little bit of, satirical nature to it, but people are sitting here with 60 pennies right here. They've bought 60 pennies. They're sitting on r/Pokey investing. If these cards went up in value, they went up 300% instead of being the $10 that I'm sure they bought them for. They're now sitting at 30 bucks. Yeah, 100% this dude would flip them and tell everybody what they did. 110% is what was going on. So if they're going to do that action, whether it's satirical or not, we're going to talk about this because that's what's going to happen in the event that these cards shoot up. So, pokey positive, don't get mad at me. Is there validity to this though? I mean, I guarantee there's some cards that people pick up that actually shoot up in value, but the problem is it's so unpredictable on specific cards. You can kind of safely put a finger on specific chase cards. I guarantee for Stellar Crown, the Bulbasaur, the Squirtle, those are very safe bets. The Terapagos is probably going to be pretty cool too. You can put a safe bet on like the Lacey card. I 100% guarantee you got a couple that you can put past that and what specific people do with cards. Like I said, our hobby is so third-party influence. There's so many other fucking ways people can get their fingers into something that it's very hard to track what cards are going to do what. It's a thing, and it's hard to explain to other people too. Like people are like, so this card has Umbreon on it though, right? And it's like, well, yes, but it's a penny card. It's not an Umbreon card, but this Umbreon card's worth like 800. It's like, yes, but there's a bunch of other factors that go into why that card's expensive. A bunch of YouTube videos, you could literally go down a rabbit hole trying to explain why specific cards are the way they are and why other cards are not. But for the most part, it's kind of something that if people have been around the hobby a little bit, you don't really need to explain it. People just kind of get why a card is the way it is. It's interesting though. It reminds me very much of the Pikachu VMAX, where this person had an opinion on the card. They were misled by the r/Pokey investing profits. They just took all their money and left them poor, broke, and stupid. So, I don't know. This is not a case of that. This person picked them up of their own fruition, and they're trying to convince other people. They're trying to convince people to hop on the penny train. Well, hey, if you want to hop on that train, you do you. It's just funny watching what people are willing to try to, justify or purchase in our hobby. They put it out publicly. It's there for you to laugh at or have fun with or to encourage or follow suit. You do you. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. It's a good time. I love watching this stuff. I love seeing what people do and what cards they think are going to the moon, baby. Moonbreon, Umbreon. Positive.